Hey everybody, I'm Matt Gary, um, and I'm here to show you what I've been working on for the last several months. I'm a big video game collector, but there's not a really great way to kind of like auto search websites to find stuff, find those games, or whatever item you might be searching for. Um, and I don't have a lot of time. I can't just sit around and refresh Craigslist all the time. So um, basically, what I've built is an app to help with that searching for you, and I've entitled it Ad Hunter because that's exactly what it does. It hunts ads for you in the background while you're doing whatever else whatever else you're doing during your day. So, yeah, why don't we take a look at it? Alright, so before we get too far into this, I just want to state that this is a, kind of like an alpha build of this application that I've made. So you'll notice a few things that should be there that aren't. You'll notice a few layout issues. Those will all be resolved. I'm just, I'm trying to focus on the core important issues before I clean up the little junk that will take almost no time. So anyway, this is Ad Hunter. The purpose of Ad Hunter is really one thing. It's to make your searching experience on Craigslist and in the future other sites easy, simple, very, very streamlined. Basically, you want to find something, this app will find it, and it will find it with relatively little effort on your part. So, the first thing you'll see here is the search settings. So, right now, this app only searches Craigslist. I've actually built in integrations with Amazon and eBay, but for now, in this first release, I just want to keep it simple with Craigslist so that we can, find the bottlenecks and the issues, all that kind of stuff. So there's three things that this app has that I haven't seen integrated in other applications, and that could just be because I haven't seen these applications, but I haven't personally seen this as an option. So three main things. Number one, this allows you the option to do templating, message templating. And what I mean by that is every time you have to message a seller on Craigslist or eBay or wherever you're looking for something, you always have to type up a new message to them, or maybe you've saved the message somewhere else, I don't know. But you'll have message templates saved locally in this application. So what I've built in here is a way to create message templates. So inside here, you can make a message template that you can name it whatever you want, and you'll notice, right, I need a done button up here to drop this keyboard. That's one of the things that I haven't added in yet. And you'll see, like I said, I have built in Amazon and eBay integrations. They will not be in the first release of this, but they are there. And then we have this other drop down called dynamic prefills that I'll show you in a little bit. So say you want to type up a template and you say, hey, and then you want the the title of the ad or something to be in there. So what you do is you click on this dynamic prefill, hold it down, and you can see it's popped up this title tag. And what that's going to do is dynamically input the title here whenever you go to generate an email for an ad that you like. Okay, so we've got our template. This template sucks, and hopefully you'd never send this, but we've got a template. The other thing that I've done, and I'm sure other places have this, but basically I've you know, just put in a way for you to put in defaults for your searches. And what that allows you to do, right, is it makes searching simpler. You don't have to go choose your city, state, or the area of Craigslist that you most want to search. You know, you don't have to go redo that over and over and over and over and over. Oh, and another thing I've added is I don't like it when one ads show up in my Craigslist search results, so I've by default skimmed all those one ads out. They don't exist anymore when you're searching through Ad Hunter. You can turn them back on if you check that checkbox. But yeah, by default they're turned off. That way we don't have to look at one ads. And then of course, right, if you ever change your defaults, which are what we were just doing, changing defaults on this search page, your kind of primary page, you would just hit, you know, it's going to notice that and allow you to update the page with those search settings. Yeah, okay, so first major thing we've gone over, right? First major thing, messaging templates. The second major thing is, okay, we want to search for something in 64 from 0 to, I don't know, $70, and we search for it, and that pulls up 18 results. So the second major thing that I've built in here that I don't see in apps is the ability to archive a Craigslist ad. And so what I mean by that is, say you go and you buy a Craigslist item from someone. Most of the time when you buy that, the seller takes that down, that ad down, and then you can't ever see it again, right? There's no way to like prove that that's what the seller theoretically was supposed to sell you. But with this app, I allow you to archive. So if you click this button, it archives, and I need a pop-up that indicates that. But then that'll go into your archives area. And what this does is it saves everything locally to your phone. And I've compressed this very tight. So all of these are very small. You know, this is a very small amount of data, right? Because your phone, you know, I don't want you wasting a whole bunch of space on your phone to archive crap from Craigslist. So these images, they get saved as like 25 kilobyte images, and all of this text here is maybe like 2 or 3 kilobytes. So you're not looking at much data, but basically you have the ability to archive ads, right? So that theoretically, at least in my mind, will reduce the amount of fraudulent selling on Craigslist. And it'll allow the buyers to kind of protect themselves a little more. And then the last thing that you can do that is a little different than I've seen in the past is you can save your search results. So this isn't the feature, but let me explain, I guess. You can save your search results, and what was this, N64? So we want to save this search as N64, and we'll enable background searching on it. Now by default background searching is turned off, but you can turn it on if you save a search. And what this does is it saves the minimum amount of data we need to research this list. And if you have background searching enabled, if you go to your saved searches, what this will do is, while the app is suspended in the background, it will search every, you know, within the time frame of an hour. So the way that the iOS system works is a little, or the iOS platform works, is a little confusing when you get into a background state. Based on the settings I've set up here, it's going to search anywhere from every 15 minutes to every hour, and that depends primarily on how much you use the app. So if you're opening the app a lot, it'll search in the background more often. But the key point to take away here is if you set up a search to be searched in the background, say you set up 20 searches, the app will search for all those in the background quickly. And if it finds new results, it will immediately notify you of that. And that way you don't have to spend time on Craigslist refreshing the page or worrying about any of that. So this was the primary goal of Ad Hunter, to do the searching for you and to really make everything in the process of buying an item on a website easier, in this case Craigslist. There are lots of other things that you can do with Ad Hunter, right? Right, I guess I haven't really showed the templating. I showed you how to make a template, but whenever you go to contact a seller through the application, oh hey, this guy's name's Matt too. What do you know? Anyway, if you go to contact somebody, it's going to pull up their relevant information that they provided in the Craigslist ad. So if they have a name, yeah, okay, it'll pull it up. If they have a phone number, it'll pull up the phone and the text. And if they have an email, it'll pull up the email option. If you click email and you've got templates made, it'll pull up this messaging template thing. And if you do that and you click it, you can see that template that we set up at the beginning, that just had a title tag in it, now says, hey, your Nintendo Mini Classics Donkey Kong Jr. looks cool. That's what we were just looking at, right? We were just looking at that this Nintendo Mini Classics Donkey Kong Jr. So it has pulled in that data for us, and if I was to click continue now, it would pull up an email here, and you'd be able to, it would pull in that template to the email, and you'd be able to edit it or do whatever you want to it. But if you're not familiar with iOS simulators, there is no emailing in it, so if I click continue right now, it'll just crash and burn. I have to test this on real hardware, which is not what I'm doing right now. So other things you can do, right? You can always favorite an ad, and then if you go back to save searches, there's now this new favorites, and you've got your favorited item, and say you hate that item, it'll go away. The other thing that I built in here that I definitely haven't seen before is the ability, right? So you have these saved searches, and maybe like not everything in here you want, so you hate this, so you delete it, and you delete a whole bunch of stuff, because like this is a Sega Genesis game and we were looking for N64 stuff. Why is this here? So we delete all these irrelevant ads. Okay, the application will remember. It will remember that you've deleted these ads. So when it researches on its own in the background again, it will not add those ads back in to your list here. It'll just bypass them. It'll say, nope, we know that you deleted them. We know that you don't want to see them. So let's just forget about them entirely and get rid of them. So really, really, really lets you narrow down everything that you see and everything that you save within the application. And yeah, I mean that is the gist of it. If you have any questions or you have any suggestions about Ad Hunter, please feel free to reach out to me. Let me know. I'm definitely open to all those. And I plan at least to release this on the 30th of April of this year. That could get pushed back depending on life circumstances, but that is my goal. As you can see, it's mostly finished, so there's just small things that I need to tweak, and I need to put this into a testing process and some other stuff. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully on the 30th of April you'll check it out. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks, guys.